You know, they say in any sort of government deal, the goodies come first, some of the unpleasant details and costs come later. We are apparently finding out when it comes to Obamacare, some surprises like premium hikes and all that. But now some Obamacare tax hikes that affect those who not only bought the Obamacare policies, but just bought any health insurance policies in that duration. And it's a lot of folks seeing some big increases, and it's not only taking effect this year, but it rolls out in the next few years. The Daily Caller's Richard Pollock has been crunching these numbers, and I don't think, Richard, folks are going to like what you've crunched. Explain what's going on.
Absolutely. Only a cynic would like this story. We're looking at every single individual in America who buys health insurance. That's individuals, families, the elderly, people who are involved with Medicare, and even the poor are going to have to pay 41% more taxes this year over an obscure tax that was really buried in the Obamacare Section 9010 in the original bill.
Well, what is that tax for? What is it? I don't understand. That's a lot. I mean, go ahead.
It is an excise tax that seeks to pay under the table for Obamacare. So what we're talking about is this year about $11 billion is going to be taken out of the pockets of everyone, including the poor, senior citizens, and all other people, whether they're in Obamacare or in private policies. Second, we're looking over the next 10 years of $145 billion being taken out of the pockets of every single person who has health insurance in this country.
All right, we should explain, and they come back to me and say, well, yeah, over 10 years, but this is maybe about $1,400, $1,500 for the average family over the course of a decade, a rounding error in the scheme of things, and what's he making such a big deal of it? You say what?
Well, first of all, for individuals, we're talking about $500 this year alone, and it's going to double again over the next 4 years. We're looking for a family of paying $700 extra this year. Now, that's real money when you begin to look at a lot of families that are hard-pressed. Then senior citizens are going to be paying about $400 more for Medicaid Advantage or Medicare Part D. And half of all Medicaid people, which are the poorest of the poor, they're going to be paying about $150 more out of pocket. And the states are going to be hit as well because they pay or they subscribe for Medicaid payments as well.
So the administration comes back, those who push this law come back and say, yeah, but it would have even been worse without this. I have never had a chance to check that. It's sort of like arguing a negative. How could you prove it? But what do you think of that? That these increases that you're talking about, and they're not denying these increases, by the way, are lower than they would have been otherwise. What do you say?
Well, you know, it's very ironic that it's called the Affordable Care Act. That's the Obamacare name. It's really beginning to look like the Unaffordable Care Act. I've talked to a couple of liberals who are proponents of the act, and they said to me, well, yes, there are increases now, but eventually down the road there will be decreases. But we haven't seen them yet. So far, all we see, as you said before, from premium hikes to these kinds of excise taxes, we're seeing only the price of insurance going up, up, up under Obamacare.
Wow. All right. Thank you, my friend. At least you put some details to that. Appreciate it. But